or something?
We'll get the drone on you. See if you can levitate up with the drone. Noor Ahmed's into the attack. 16-year-old spin sensation from Afghanistan.
Is he gone? I think he is. Well, they're very confident. Not Kumar Dharmasena. For a moment I thought that appeal, the body language tells you a story. Are they going to refer it? They're thinking about it. Bhanuka Rajapaksa's not sure. Oh, he's gone there. He's finally decided to go.
There was a wooden sound. Something.
Thank you, TV umpire, the director. Player will be 4 behind. Original decision is not out. You just show me the front foot, please. Is a pair, did really go to front on spin action, please. Spin mission coming up, Kumar. The ball is in a little away from the bat. Can I have the ultra edge on this, please? Ultra edge coming up. Roll forward, roll forward, roll forward, roll forward. Flat line when the ball passes the bat. No bat involved. Can I have the on-field umpire on camera, please?
Got out. It was close to the edge of the bat. There wasn't a sound there, but tell you what, Windy Mendes looked guilty, didn't he? There was that little look at the umpire. He withdrew his bat very quickly.
But how about Kumar Dharmasena as an umpire? He's been absolutely brilliant. And those test matches against West Indies.
You spoke about the umpiring. I think both Ruchira Palyaguruge and Kumar Dharmasena were outstanding in that test series. It wasn't the easiest ground to appreciate. We do know ball, it takes a lot of turn. The sister spinners, the eastern and bounce, but they were really good.
And consistent.
I think there were very few flaws, honestly. A lot of credit to both umpires. .47 for 2. Into the 7th over. He's got in a slip, so Bhanuka Rajapaksa is in an attacking mode, trying to dismiss Shehzad. He's been mixing it up. His length hasn't been perfect. Got a couple of runs, dragged down, but he's mixing it up. He's bowling the wrong end, he's bowling the leg break. This young kid has been impressive. Someone as young as he is. He's done tremendously well, done well for himself.
Yeah, it's going to be a very good contest between the leg spinner and Ahmed Shehzad. Enjoying good run of form, Ahmed Shehzad.
Well, let's see, will that be a wide? I think it's... No, it's not something, it's a bat. Oh no, it's a wide. Kumar Dharmasena took his time over it. He certainly took his time, thought about it and gave it.
Missed out Ahmed Shehzad. Ball written all over it. It's just the case of getting bat on the ball.
Reverse again. Gets that one. Not fine enough. He was just trying to go in between the man just behind square on the ring on the offside and that man out on the boundary, but he got that one too cleanly. Seems very keen to reverse sweep Noor here, despite the fact that the angle is very much against the left-hander.
It's a new trend, isn't it? If you can't read the bowler, employ a sweep shot. He's reading him well. Soft hands and a single.
Good running, very good running. They've got 7 in the over. Warriors have now passed the 50 mark. They need a solid base, they need a good partnership. That's what they didn't have in the last game. Wickets were lost and it was the lower order that really gave them some respectability.
Cricket is standing out.
Last ball of the over. That should be wide. This is the problem. This young man. He's been a little bit wayward. He's got all the mystery and variety, but he's not been able to try and control what he's doing.
Shazad playing a really good hand here, you know. 161 strike rate. Doesn't feel like he's taking too many undue risks. Taking the singles and twos on offer. Just like that. The 7 overs gone. 56 for 2.
Very highly, assuming the Lakshan.
Yeah, after winning the toss, decided to bat first, no hesitation. Wasn't a great start. Losing a couple of wickets early in the piece, but it was Shazad whose bat did the talking. Played some superb strokes.
Right. 56 for 2. Well, we do know that in these days it's so important that we sanitize and disinfect, and no other name to look for. Dettol is the name, and he's the brand that everyone goes for. Suminda Lakshan. Well, was with the test side, has been thought of very highly. Someone with potential, someone where the selectors think has a future when it comes to the longer format, and maybe even in this, but comes with a reputation.
Well, he's got fairly big shoes to fill as well. He's come in for Polina Taranga, who was bowling well. You just want to have something different in terms of type of leg spinner, getting into the game. You need to use your squad, don't you, over 8 games. Looks like there's a bit of help for him. Turn immediately, that first ball.
Turn again.
Shazad showing us his skills. Footwork nifty. He named the strokes on the front foot. He was lunging forward and was deep in the crease too.
He's not picked that. The googly's gone right through him. This has been a really good start by the young leg spinner who's come in. Yeah. Well, maybe it's just a leggy that didn't turn, really. Just went straight on, top spinner. Or a leggy that didn't turn.
Polina Taranga is the man he replaced. Polina Taranga is more of an all-rounder. But this is a front-line leg spinner, so obviously they're looking for wickets. So they've gone with somebody who can get you wickets. So he's an attacking option as a bowler.
And he's not afraid to toss the ball up. That's encouraging. It's a short of founder, remember?
There goes the sweep. In the gap. And it's 4. I didn't think Mohammad Hafiz was too interested in chasing it, because that appeared to be close to him. But the slog sweep was perfect. He was really splitting that gap.
He did well there, because actually that was quite a full delivery. To dig it out, and now look at that, you can see absolutely perfectly bisecting those 2 guys on the boundary. Couldn't have done that any better.
Yeah, it was the bottom hand wrist. Was helped him place the ball away from those fielders. End of the 8th. It's 64 for 2.
Right, so it's a decent start for the Kandy Warriors, and it's time for the strategic timeout.
First.
They're going at 8 runs per over. Shehzad has been outstanding. He's been the one that the Kandy Warriors have looked to try and take them out of troubled waters. He's played some delightful shots. Been good with some of those very, very innovative shots like that one. Good use of the feet. That was a fantastic shot over long on. Again over mid-wicket. In his arc, he's been very good, and that was sweet. Square on the wicket, timing perfect. He's already hit the 1, 6 and 5 fours. Coming to Mendes, 15 of 11. This partnership now promising for the Warriors.
The Giants, beg your pardon. Gladiators, they need a breakthrough here. Because both these batters are striking the ball very comfortably and confidently.
I think this is one of the first times in the whole tournament we've seen two batsmen actually not go hell for leather and just bat properly. Take the 2s and 1s. Sure, there were some boundaries in there as well, but they've taken the bad ball really, or the opportunity. They've not tried to force anything too much. It's been quite old school batting, and they've still scored at a good rate, 49 off 32. There you go, just milking. Not been too many dot balls with these two. They've not let the bowlers settle.
That's intelligent batting. He realised that Mohammad Hafiz has been brought into the attack to pick up a wicket here. He's trying to stay ahead of the opposition. 50 partnership.
Oh, that one just a little bit of drift into the left-hander. This is the experience of Mohammad Hafiz, who mixes it up. He changes, he's very good with his subtle changes. The ones that drift in, the off break.
He's a left-hander, eater. Mohammad Hafiz. Once again, nifty footwork.
So far it's been good, just 4 singles of the first 4 balls. And they just need someone to come in and rein in on things. They were going quickly. The last 30 balls, they've got 48. That's encouraging for the Warriors. Gives himself a bit of room, but still he has a man on the cover boundary. So this is good bowling. This is really good bowling.
I think it's good batting as well.
The gun on the central bank. Ajit Niwad Cabral. He told you that he's a cricket fan. He loves his cricket. And it's good to have him watching the game. Excellent over. Excellent over. Dot ball to end the over. It's 69 for 2. With his leg break, take it on the full. Down to long on.
As you mentioned there, Roshan, Suminder Lakshan gives the ball a lot more air than Pulina Taranga, which does give the batsman a chance to get down the track. Are any of them going to chance their arm and try and go over either long on or long off? It's a no ball. Do you not want me bowling those, particularly as a spinner? Googly picked as well by Hamid Shahzad, who gets off strikes. So Kamindu Mendes will be very happy with that. He gets a chance at a free hit with a slow, loopy, leggy bowling.
I don't believe it. He's not a tall lad, but look at that stride. Look at the stride. And a leggy or a spinner bowling a no ball at this stage. Well, it is now. I don't know, it's a debatable call. Different people have different views. My co-commentators don't think it's a no ball. And this one, down the wicket it goes, and that's a boundary. So, they're profiting. The Warriors are profiting. Suminder Lakshan supposedly overstepping, and the free hit.
Kamindu using his feet well in this over. Just wondering there if Suminder would have bowled it into the pitch a bit quicker, but no, he tossed it up again, and Kamindu got down quickly. You saw he got down to 3 meters there. Low risk shot. The response is just to hang it outside off stump a little bit more pace on it too.
I'm impressed with Rajapaksha as a captain. He's utilising his bowlers quite well. He knows that one side has a short boundary and making sure he bowls the leg spinner from this end, where if a left-hander is looking to clear the boundary, it won't be easy.
That's a good ploy, particularly bowling to the left-hander where the ball will spin into him, which makes it easier to go with the turn. But here it's the longer boundary against the right-hander. There will be an element of risk because he'll be looking to hit against the turn, against the trajectory of the ball.
Excellent recovery from the Kandy Warriors after losing 2 quick wickets. They are on track.
Good bowling, very good bowling. Every dot ball is so precious.
That's good batting as well. Picked up a boundary, a double. Not willing to take any chances. He knows they're looking for a wicket here. Break this partnership. It's not going to be easy for the new batsman to come and bat with confidence and control the game.
At the halfway stage, the Kandy Warriors are 78 for 2.
We'll have to fight.
For the Kandy Warriors, just what you need, isn't it? To steady the ship, get your team that foundation from where you can launch. 78 for 2 at the halfway stage with 2 batsmen on 41 and 24. The job's not done, is it, HD? Parvez Maroof with me. Hafiz taken on straight away. Ahmed Shahzad. Is it that time to accelerate?
This is good batting. First ball of the over. Putting the ball under pressure. Down the ground. Finding that gap between deep mid-wicket and long on. It's absolutely the time. With so much batting to come for the Warriors. Angelo Ferreira to come. And you've got Tiradan Sampat. I think it's a high time one of these batsmen gets into other gear.
Yeah, that's where I was trying to go with the conversation. Slower pitch. Do you give the opposition that opportunity, or do you just continue accumulating for another 2-3 overs?
I just think the intelligence that these two have shown is just it's a lesson for others, particularly in this tournament, just to when you lose 2 early wickets, to go how about putting an innings together. And they now have the perfect platform to launch again. I know what you're saying is that 2 or 3 more overs, then maybe both try and find some more boundaries. I don't think both, because one of these two need to go as deep as they can.
Yeah, make sure you don't lose a wicket for another 2-3. That's a decision. Both batsmen have to make another surprising factor, Parvez. Samit Patel opened the bowling 1 over, picked up a wicket, and we haven't seen him since.
Samit Patel did bowl from the far end, where the over's been held at the moment. The left-hander was shot a hit towards the mid-wicket boundary.
That's it.
That'll fall short.
If Banu Rajapaksa needs Samit Patel, he should be bowling from the opposite end, which is the press box end. Long the hit towards mid-wicket for the left-hander. So I think tactically Banu Rajapaksa can get that right. And also I forgot to mention Roman Powell. We saw him, how brutal he can be in yesterday's game. So nicely set up for the Warriors.
Oh, delicately played. That's running away. A boundary to end Mohammad Hafiz's spell. He's gone for 32 and wicketless. 89.
Samit Patel. Samit Patel's introduced. So he'll try to take the ball away from Ahmed Shehzad, but this is classy. Really good from the left-hander.
Just waits and waits and waits, and then it's just glided off the face of the bat. It's a beautiful shot. There is a man behind point, but he can't be that fine. That's gorgeous.
Good use of the feet. Oh, Mohammad Hafiz. It's not your day, but it's Ahmed Shehzad's day. He's got to 50 or 36.
Very well batted, Ahmed Shehzad. First game. And Mohammad Hafiz did a much better job. Would have saved a couple of runs for Galle Gladiators. Saying that, full marks to this right-hander from Pakistan, Ahmed Shehzad. Placed it beautifully. Yes, it's a full toss, but you've still got to find the gap. It's so easy to hit the full toss out to a sweeper and just get a single, but he found the gap, and yes, there was the misfield, but it's a lovely innings. It really is. Well thought out half century. There's been some big shots, but there's been a lot of cricketing smart to his innings.
It also looked like there's a battle between a battle. Shehzad versus Hafiz. The buddies. Little bit of niggle. Great foil. Kamindo Mendes has been. His promotion has worked. Very sure it was to maintain that left-hand, right-hand combination.
Just have a feeling something is going to get here with the left-hander.
Something funny did happen earlier, because when we were out doing the pitch, Indika Diseram is the assistant coach of Galle, former teammate, former Sri Lankan player. That's him in the far left of the screen, next to Umar Gul. So he was out there with Suminda Lakshan, who's playing today, collecting the ball when Lakshan was bowling. He's only 5'6", Suminda Lakshan. And Sarah, that's what we call him, says Kotai, meaning short. Suminda replies, I can't help it. Sarah, so Indika has replies in Sinhalese, I'm not talking about your height, I'm talking about the length. Oh dear. That's the end of the 12th, 97 for 2.
Slap through cover. He found boundaries whenever there was a little bit of pressure on the Warriors. He was able to find boundaries, but in between them, there was he barely put a foot wrong. Barely a dot ball to speak of.
Controlled, wasn't it? Whenever he was searching for the boundary, timed it nicely. 8 overs to go. Would there be a change in the approach? Is it time to change? Well, I'm pretty sure with the experience of Ahmed Shehzad, he'd be doing the assessing. The message would have gone across. Dhananjay Lakshan.
You've mentioned the running between the wickets before, and that one there was just nudge down to mid-off for one. Any more of those left in the commentary box?
Surely, he couldn't have had too much of that, right? We just had the timeout. Aren't you coming? I'll have to check Roshan's bag, though.
I'm just starting to wonder whether Kamindu Mendes is running out of steam a little bit. We've seen some slow run singles to the boundary. No one being pushed anymore. We know it's hot out there.
Oh, he wants the two. Good fielding in the deep there.
Kamindu Mendes feel like saving the energy. Someone who's very fit, very young, very hungry. Good attitude towards the game. Not been easy. 32 of 24 deliveries. Shorter boundary on the leg side with Dhananjay Lakshan bowling. He's in his arc. That's going. That's Sugadas Stadium for you. Not that far from this R. Premdas Stadium, few kilometers away.
Oh, he's thrown it away. Kamindu Mendes, what were you trying to do? Oh boy, oh boy. We're just talking. This partnership needs to go on. Lakshan gets his man.
Kamindu Mendes trying to go over the wicket keeper or short fine leg. Only manages another slow ball bouncer. This is what Dhananjay Lakshan is renowned for. Just not sure where was he trying to go. In case if he had kept the shape, would have hammered it over mid wicket. This is where experience counts. In the end, keeps him got out. 32 of 25 Kamindu Mendes. Warriors 9.
Angelo Pereira, the captain. 31-year-old walks out. Gonna have to play the foil. A good foil for Ahmed Shahzad. He's at the non-striker's end, though. Two's the call. Kamindu Lakshan in the deep. Quick across the grass.
Seam up that time by Dhananjay Lakshan. Trying to go fuller. This was a wicket slow ball bouncer. Yeah, keeping the shape and would have hammered it over mid wicket. Kamindu Mendes misjudging the length and the line. Now what's the plan of attack? Is it Pereira's job to get Shahzad back on strike, or does he... Because the one thing you don't really want is a wicket followed by another quick wicket. You hand momentum back to the fielding side.
The hundreds up on the board. Oh, was there a nick? Lakshan definitely interested, but it did not carry.
Seam up again. It's good bowling by the young man. Straight away the new batsman, not trying anything drastic. Angelo Pereira trying to glide towards third man. Think there was a outside edge. Fell short of Ben Dunk.
You pick up wickets, you can slow up the run rate. That's what Kandy Warriors couldn't afford. Oh, no. He's hit that hard. Has he got enough? Dilshan Madhushanka does well. Keeps it down to 2 at the end of 13. 102 for 3.
Someone keeps me very excited with his power hitting. Saw some glimpses of it yesterday. And Angelo Pereira, skipper, testing times in ahead with Noor Ahmed to come. Samit Patel. Noor Ahmed got 3 overs. It won't be easy for the batsman coming up, as well as Angelo Pereira, who's new to the wicket.
7 overs remaining. 10 and over gets you to around 170. The governor of the central bank, Nivad Cabral. A few other dignitaries here at the grounds today. Noor Ahmed. One over for 10 so far for the youngster.
You talk about a partnership. If these two can just bat till over 15, then take it on, because if they lose a wicket and they can unleash Powell with 5 overs, anything can happen.
I think Powell with Noor Ahmed having the variations, the easy ones, because he got 3 more overs. I mean, 2.4 overs to go.
I don't think he worries about which way it's turning. I think he just swings for the bleachers.
You're probably right there. He's taking it off the gloves of Ben Dunk. But the dots are building. Shazad not happy, as it signaled a bye.
Very close to a wide delivery. Hemanta Boteju giving the benefit of the doubt to the bowler. Angelo Pereira. Straight away Banu Rajapakse bringing a slip fielder and the mid-off field up as well. This good captaincy, understanding how important the captain's wicket is in the attack.
Yeah, he's got that slip in. 14 balls since the last boundary. The run rate now dipping below 7, below 8.
You want to think this game, well, this innings is on a knife edge at the moment, because 1 wicket here and Powell might come out swinging, but he could hit the first one up in the air. That's just the type of the game he's going to play. But this, there's a chance here for both teams to take the initiative.
More dots. Last 16 balls, 11 runs. That's what a wicket does. That's why, I was trying to make the point. Should these two make sure that they just keep doing the same thing for a longer period? That was when Kamindu Mendis was there. And suddenly, the game's looking tight. Kandy Warriors slowing up and ran 4 for 3.
Champions League.
Sampath in place of Asela Gumratla is more renowned for the finishing part. This occasion, Tilakam Sampath has got the opportunity to fill that gap.
Tilakratna Sampath, brother of T.M. Dilshan. With the left-hander dismissed, Hamid Patel's now crossed over to his more favoured end. But the left-armers have got a little bit more purchase. It's around that area in the previous game that we saw Chaturanga De Silva get it to turn and explode. Stalking 170 a while ago, looks like it's dipping. Kandy Warriors have to make sure they don't lose their way. Oh dear, oh dear. If they don't get 160, they will be very unhappy. The foundation was there.
Don't think it was the right choice taken by Angelo Pereira, giving so much room. That's better.
Giving himself room. trying to tar that short boundary on the offside, but Samit Patel, he's clever as well.
Is he just trying to get it away on the offside for a single to get off strike? Or is there just turn?
In the modern game, is something called reverse sweep. Something that these two batsmen could use it. Look at that. I think that's where Russell mentioned.
Rolling it nicely is Samit Patel. 22 balls since the last boundary. Boundary dimensions, not too much of a difference as you see, but out in the middle you certainly do get that feeling. Out of the 10 sixers hit in the previous game, 8 were hit in that direction. The singles really drying up. One single off the 15th, 105 for 3.
Pereira, it is going to fall safe. Yeah, it's been a dip in the Warriors' rate of scoring. It's now under 7 runs and over. Suddenly, we could see that the spinners are starting to dictate terms. They haven't really been comfortable against Noor Ahmed. He's been good. He's bowled 6 dot balls already. In fact, the Kamidu Mendis got out. Oh, lucky. That's fun. And he just couldn't gather it. They're able to be. In fact, they're running 2 miles now. Well, this is what, Matt, a wicket could do.
I think that was a relatively simple stumping chance for a top quality keeper, really. He would have seen it quite well. He knows that Noor is generally spinning the ball away from the right-handed batsman. The ball hit him rather than he took the ball there. What's really interesting now is the ball has just started to spin in the last 2-3 overs, significantly more than at the start of the innings, which is going to make this run chase very interesting indeed. Big shot, straight as a die. Well hit by Angelo Pereira. They're just starting to get going at the death now. And they get up to about 150 plus.
Well, this is a phase of the innings I've been talking about. I really would like to see teams dominate this phase of the game, the last 5 overs, because it's an area I think Sri Lanka has to improve on as a national team.
That's going to be a wide, I think. Pereira's trying to give himself room. I think Noor saw him there, decided to go wide, but too wide.
2 balls ago, Angelo Pereira, good start to him, just had to take evasive action.
Might be a run out here. This is going to be close. They're going to send it upstairs, I think, although it looks like Angelo Pereira managed to get back with the dive. Definitely wasn't a single there. Good decision to send him back.
Okay, roll forward. Batsman behind the popping crease when the wickets are broken, and I made my decision and not out on the big screen, please.
And that's why you dive in. That was the difference between staying in and going back to the pavilion for Angelo Pereira. Just not picking him, are they, at the moment? Generally, spinning the ball away from the right-hander. It's proving tricky. Big thanks to Detol. Got to stay sanitised at the moment. Remember the old days, used to sanitise the ball. Don't do that anymore. Going to be a single to finish Nor's third over. So that's 16 gone. 113 for 3, 4 to go. What can the Kandy Warriors get up to? Well, they're going to talk about now because they've taken a strategic timeout. Ahmed Shahzad has played well, but he's just got a bit stuck since getting to 50. Strike rate now 112. Was a lot higher than that earlier in his innings. You go 9 and over from here, it's 149, which you'd think would be a decent score on this pitch. Down the track. Has he picked out long on? He has. So Angelo Pereira's trying to get on with things, which is the right thing to do. But unfortunately, he didn't hit that straight enough. Good catch.
Excellent catch, but then Kandy Warriors losing their way. They're losing wickets a little bit too close to each other. You can understand Angelo Pereira's intention. He did understand and he knew that they were being pushed back a little bit. Lairu Madhushanka. Long on. You can see the disappointment. He needed to kick on, but he's not. At 10 of 12. Excellent catch in the deep. He's out. For 10, it's 113 for 4.
Solid.
This is the sight that Kandy Warriors were waiting for. Rodman Powell's in. He's off the mark straight away, playing in his 100th T20 match. He was the standout batsman in the previous game, to do with his power in these last few balls. Another wicket for Samit Patel, who doesn't often bowl this late in the innings. But a good job, though. That ball just sliding on. Maybe Angelo Pereira was expecting a bit of turn. So Shazad now, he's 56 off 50. He has slowed down a little bit, Darren. He needs to get on with it.
Yeah, he has, but he's played a role. Now what he needs a power player to partner him to finish the innings off. I've been saying that about Sri Lanka's cricket. There's need for many more players to step up and take the opportunity to score quickly in this phase of the innings. Angelo Pereira tried. Only 1-6 in the innings so far. Now look at the Sri Lankan national setup. You think Dasun Shanaka could be that finisher. Chamika Karunaratne. Maybe Ramesh Mendes as well.
Rodman goes big, but not big enough. That's a big wicket for the Galle Gladiators. Rodman Powell is a real danger man, as he showed in the previous game. Got a lot of elevation there, but not enough power. Tried to go inside out.
Well, they're losing their way, aren't they? He got more height than distance, deceived a bit in flight, bowled slower. Samit Patel bowling beautifully here. Excellent catch in the deep. Kandy in trouble at the moment. 115 for 5, and Rodman Powell is out for 1.
This is your first game, isn't it? Keep trying to sneak one on you.
Tilakaratne Sampat is in, brother of Tilakaratne Dilshan. Experienced too, playing in his 80th game, best of 92 not out in the shortest format. He will be on strike.
Oh, nor are you.
The younger brother of the famous Tilakaratne Dilshan, who revolutionized or followed a revolution of batting when Sanat Jayasuriya started it with Romesh Kaluvitarna. Tilakaratne Dilshan did the same thing as an opener. Another look, Rodman Powell looking to go over extra cover. Got a lot of height. Just couldn't clear that boundary. Excellent catch by Danushka. Got underneath it. Not easy, I can tell you. That reverse cup worked perfectly.
Paul's been following Tilaka around actually in this tournament. He's taken a few catches already. Reverse sweep. We've seen the ball go past the outside edge of the right-handed batsman a few times of the bowling of Noor Ahmed. This is a good spell.
Well, that's just one of those things he could do. Reverse sweep, the proper sweep, the slog sweep, the dill scoop. He can do all that. Let's hope he stays long enough to see all of that.
Change in field immediately. Man drops back behind square on the offside, and he plays it again. Tries to pierce the gap, but that's a good stop. Rajapaksa, the captain, leading by example there. If that had got through, that was 4. The biggest of gaps. Well, got across. Really crucial last 15 balls coming up here. At one point they were cruising towards 150.
Yeah!
Oh, that could be out. Great bit of glove work from Ben Dunk. He missed one earlier, but that was an excellent stumping. Kept his eyes on the ball, was probably thinking about the previous one.
Well, the spinners are running riot here. Amateur's art was completely done.
Yeah, it just shows how challenging it is. The batsman on this surface, a batsman who's set, still struggling to find the middle, especially when he was looking to power the ball. But he's held the innings together. The glue, 56 to him, well played. 118 for 6.
Ratner, the new batsman, goes with more conventional sweep. First up. Big thanks to our partners, Staraz, Red Bull, Roshan's favourite CDL Munchie, Dialogue, NLB Multilac, Emerging Media, Dettol, Cycle Pure Agrabati, Thayan Steel, McDowell's, AIA Insurance. He's itching to pick up the mic alongside me. Go on then, what's the retort?
Where did that come from? You seem to know my favourite. Munchie, well, that's number 1 of Sri Lanka. Munchie Kome. That's a speciality.
Oh, was there a sound? No, thought there was.
Interesting to see spinners bowling at the death. And just to get to your point, Darren, I believe that Sri Lanka, at the moment, at international level, has Dasun Shanaka, as you said, Shamika Karnaratne. As a finisher, then Ramesh Mendis can be an option. Yeah, but if you look around, we just can't see any other name, strong names emerging. So the whole purpose of a tournament like this is to identify where the holes are in the Sri Lankan lineup and try and aim to get there. Players on display should try and do that. This is a marvelous opportunity, lovely stage to try and show their talent.
Well, he's connected with that one. That was more of a reverse heave than a reverse sweep. That's where the space is for Sampat behind square on the offside. I want to rethink the field.
Many more boundaries required at this stage of the innings. Warriors, they were 1 of 5 for 3 after 15. Just 21 runs scored. We're into what? The 4th over of the last 5. Usually teams go at 11, 12s at this phase of the innings. So we're short of power.
It was almost a Dill scoop, wasn't it? Just like his brother.
I told you. Expect the full repertoire. It's almost a swish hit, but perfectly done. Besides his batting, I'll tell you, he can keep wickets, he can pull off spin. He's the full package.
That's a big slog sweep, not connected. It's got to be reviewed, just to make sure.
Umpire referral for a stumping. Can you give me the front test, please? It's a fair delivery. Give me the front on spin mission to see whether any batting ball. No, but give me the side on angle for the stumping, please. That cool behind the popping piece. I made my decision. It's
easy decision for the third umpire on that occasion. Crossing stumps, followed by Saminda, who's bowled well here. Entrusted with the 19th over, finishes with 3 overs, none for 24. It's 1-2-6 for 6. In India, Pakistan, Australia, UK, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, USA, Canada, or the Caribbean, wherever you're watching, it has been a good spell for the Galle Gladiators to haul themselves back into this game. It was looking at one point like the Warriors going to get up to 150 and beyond, and they still might, but they need 24 off the final over. And we're going to see Seam for the first time in a while. You want Tashara back into the attack. Is this their opportunity? Get a few quick runs in the last 6 balls. Their last opportunity.
But more importantly and significantly, only 2 boundaries in the last 4 overs, so not exactly what you'd want to achieve as a batting unit winning the last phase of the innings.
Again, no timing. It's not going to get anywhere near long on. They might be able to come back with 2. No, just the 1.
Yeah, they were 97 for 2 at the end of 12 overs. So look at the return they've had in the last 7. They've just got 30 runs and they've lost 4 wickets, and that's not good. That's a very, very weak return. They expected 150, 160, and that's what they were really setting themselves up to. Shezad and Kamidu Mendis were going well.
High, and that's gone a long way. Just short of the old scoreboard. Sampat showing some power with the big slog sweep.
Come at the hour, come at the man. That's what they need. They need a few of those. And the second ball, TM Sampath has planted it over mid-wicket.
Ideal spark that the Warriors would have wanted to the innings. Flies away for 6. And we see a few more. That is exactly what coaching staff would be asking for.
I think they've got to try and target that shorter side in these final few deliveries. It's exactly what Shoaib Malik did really well in the previous game. Need the crosses stumps, pick the right arm seamer down. That's what Sampath's trying to do, but on this occasion Tashara hangs that outside off stump. Again, can't get 2.
Got 8 of the first 3. They need a good finish. Shanjarat on strike. He can hit the long ball. But the Kandy Warriors batsman, particularly the second half, has been found wanting. We haven't seen those aggressive strokes. We haven't seen those big ones. There's 2 sixers and 14 fours.
Oh, scoop over the offside. That is some shot. Almost goes all the way. Ishan Jayaratne.
Great innovation. Absolute creativity. Amazing shot. Oh my goodness. Look what T20 cricket has done to batting. T20 and T10. It's coming from everywhere.
And it's a part of the white ball game. The ramp, using the pace, no fielders in that position. It's a courageous shot. Got to be brave to do it, and he's executed it perfectly.
Tell you what, 2 lusty blows away from 150, they can still get there. Just need a couple of maximums.
I know we've been asking for boundaries, but we also must give credit to the bowlers. Nur Ahmed, Samit Patel, were able to get a little bit more with the older ball. A lot of turn on offer.
This time into the pitch. No, definitely not two there. Darren, should we also give credit to Lanka Rajapaksa, who stuck with spin until very late in the innings, even the 19th over. Could have gone back to Dhananjaya Lakshan, he bowled well. 2 overs, 2 for 11. He's only just brought Tishara back, and he's not going to bowl 4.
Good spot, Matt. And that's what you call thinking on your feet as a captain, something that is required in the T20 game. Putting a higher weighting on the condition that requires that attention. He knows that there is something on the surface for the spinners, and he's opted for bowling, 3 overs of spin in the last 5. Very, very good decision making by the captain.
Last ball of the innings. Belted through the offside. That has gone like a rocket down towards the boundary and over the rope. So it's been a good finish for the Kandy side after stuttering in the second half of the innings, but they've taken 17 off that final over. Tilakaratne Sampath has given them something to bowl at. Just a bit of width for him there. He threw his hands at that ball and perfectly bisected the 2 fielders on the boundary.
Yeah, great finish. 17 runs in that over, and they needed that. Kandy Warriors, they have some runs on the board now. We've seen the ball turning, spinners coming into play, so they got something to defend. Yeah, Tilakaratne Sampath, you know, he's a versatile cricketer. You've just seen those reverse sweeps, the slogs, the square drives, and a cameo. 19 of 9.
Learnings to have from this first innings. I'm sure the Galle Gladiators will be mindful of what pace on the ball allows for free stroke play, as we've seen from this partnership of 25 from 14. Ratna and Sampath finishing the innings well. Maybe a little more intensity required a bit earlier, but they'll be happy with where they have finished, especially with the great work that we saw from Ahmed Shahzad early in the innings.
Shahzad started really well. Good run out of a bit of puff, but still 56 off 51. You can't argue with that too much. Mindy Mendes played his part. 32 off 25. Again, maybe ran out of steam a little bit. Angelo Pereira, I think, will be a little bit disappointed with his innings. That's where they started to stall after 13 overs. Took just 2 runs off the 14th and 15th over, and then it was left to Sampath at the end to re-inject some life into the innings. 19 not out of 9. 9 for Jayarathne as well. That's got the side up to 143.
Well, the partnerships is just that 83, the significant one to speak about, and the 25 of 14, those have been the real critical ones for the Kandy Warriors in that makeup of 143 for 6.
Up, Samit Patel in particular, his 3 for 13 was exceptional, using the conditions, bowled early, then bowled at the back end of the innings. Sara was a bit expensive. Dhananjaya Lakshan with his variety picked up 2 for 11, and Nur Ahmed coming really good with his 1 for 22.
Let's get down to Russell Arnold. He's got the top scorer of the Kandy innings with him.
And that top scorer is Ahmed Shahzad. That was a brilliantly paced innings from you.
Yeah. See, Russell, to be really honest, these are tough pitches. And to have a plan from the dressing room, it's really tough to have it. But you know, when we went inside after the 6 overs, we thought, okay, 140, 145 would be a very good score here, depending on how our spinner is going to be bowled. if you'll see that, boundaries are big and ball were turning laterally. These are tough pitches to play and, tough boundaries to cross, for the spinners especially. They have 4 spinners. So they've bowled 16 overs with the spinners, and I guess that Mendes guy, he played superbly well. That was really tough when he came to the bat, and the way he showed some guts inside. We ran between the wicket really hard. We made sure we keep the partnership going, and credit to him as well, the way he played. He was just a youngster, but the courage he showed inside, that was superb to see.
But you got your team to a great position with that Mendes guy.
Yeah.
But he got out at the wrong time. From then on, suddenly the ball started spinning a lot more, didn't it?
See, we've decided that. We had a lot of wickets in hand at that time, so one had to go. And I think with being a left-hander, he has the better option, better chance. So, as I said, to cross the boundaries, even though very big players here will be missing some shots here. We got to give it to him as long as he's trying, as long as he's there in the middle playing these sort of bowlers, these sort of leagues. This will really help his confidence. And to be fair, it's for the youngsters of Sri Lankan, and we can only come here and guide them and share our experience. But in the end of the day, it will only help the youngsters, and especially innings like this on these sort of pitches will really help them.
How do you feel about the score? Because at one stage you could have got 170. Are you feeling confident that you have enough and the momentum?
I believe we would never have thought about 170, because we knew that after 6 overs the ball started behaving differently. So we knew that we're going to score 145, maybe 150, depends how well we go. But you cannot forget they have 16 overs of spinners, and they all are quality spinners. They're not 5-timers. So I believe that we've gotten a score what we've wanted to, and now it's up to the fielding and the bowling that we need to execute our plans, and we have a very good chance to pull this off today.
Well batted today, Ahmed.
Thank you, Russell. Thank you very much.
Good interview by that Russell guy. Very refreshing as well, wasn't it, to hear Ahmed Shahzad be so open and honest. Now the question is, 143, how good a score is that? Well, we'll give you a couple of minutes to mull it over, because we're going to take a break and we'll come back with the run chase.
decided that they would have a bat against the Galle Gladiators. They ended up with 143 for 6. Ahmed Shahzad played well, 56 or 51. He was well supported by Kamindu Mendes, 32 or 50, but a little late flourish at the end from Sampat and Jayaratna ensured that 143 for 6 was the total. Lots of spin was used, 15 of the 20 overs. Samet Patel, the pick of them, 3 for 13. Lakshan 2 for 11. Noor with the solitary wicket. So 144 is the target for the Galle Gladiators. There was a time when you thought they were going to be chasing somewhere in the region of 160, 170. Then they fought back, clawed their way back into the fixture. And then for a moment you thought they'd only be chasing 125, 130. If it wasn't for that late flourish. So this should be a good contest. There's a surface that has a little bit of turn in it. They don't have as many spinners, the Kandy Warriors. They don't have as many frontline spinners as the Galle Gladiators did. Roshananda Singh, what do you make of this chase?
Well, interesting. We've seen a lot of spin. Tilakaratna Sampath, I think we did say that he's a versatile guy. He could also keep wickets. Now he's opening the bowling with his off spin. Who can be very creative with the bat in hand. And look who's here. The Arnold guy is here.
Kusal Mendes. He's on strike today. The off spin of Dhananjay De Silva has Dhanushka Gunatilaka in all sorts, so they made a change. T.N. Sampath, just like his brother. Jack of all trades, can keep, can bowl, can bat, can play that scoop. Brother T.M. Dilshan.
He seemed to be in business. Finished off well, starting off the proceedings.
John, I don't mean to sound disrespectful because I'm not at all, but I think this match might have the two biggest wicket keepers in world cricket. I mean, Kenar Lewis is an enormous man to be keeping wicket.
Single to get off the mark. 143 HD. What do you make of the score? Because at one stage you were thinking 170. At 99, that's when Kamindu Mendes played an unusual shot. 45 balls since then, only 44 runs were scored, and that also thanks to a quick fire 19 from T.N. Sampath. And the moment that wicket fell, suddenly the ball started turning square and it became a minefield. It's how the batsmen approach, and when there's a partnership there, you can control it. Did they go too early? That's the question.
4. Little misfield, and they're away.
Yeah, Shahzad was the fieldsman, but I do agree with you, Russell. When that partnership was going, nothing was happening. It looked so good. That was another look. Dr. Back, that should have been stopped. They need to be sharp. Every half chance, every half run should be stopped.
Ahmed Shahzad, who batted so beautifully, and enjoyed that interview with him as well. 5 for no loss.
5 without loss after the first one. Shazad played well. He held the innings together.
83-run partnership of 57, but he looked so much in control. Knew exactly where to hit the ball. Of course, it wasn't the easiest of pitches, but not when he was batting. It looked so easy. Wonderful innings. Set the foundation for the Kandy Warriors.
He got 50 of 36 balls and then just 56 of 51. So his scoring rate dropped as well when Mendes got out. He's going down the leg side and 4. Spraying.
Leg buys, but still runs on the board for the Gladiators. We do know what the spin can do on this surface. And it'll be very interesting to watch how the Warriors spinners get about on this. But at the moment, the openers will try to capitalize. It's going down the leg side. Very useful. Off the tie, but still, it's a boundary.
That'll be 4 as well. And there's a man back there, but that's hit too well.
Back to back. Good start for Kusal Mendes. That one was a gift on his leg stump, and there was nobody behind square leg, so that became quite easy. Fine leg inside the circle. He rolled his wrists and he controlled it.
Straight away the pressure released. Both batsmen will breathe easier. It's not a big target. You've got to make sure that the 6 overs are tidy.
That'll just be 1. You've spoken about spin on this particular pitch, but do the Warriors have the same spin attack that the Gladiators did?
They have those who can bowl, but not that quality, not that variety, not the same variations. Columbage is a wrist spinner. He's still raw. Then you got Charita Lanka, Angelo Pereira. They're all wrist spinners. Coming to Mendes, who can bowl left and right. With the wrist spinner, there's finger spinners, which means they're a little bit easier. The variety is what makes it harder.
You just wonder how quickly Pereira is prepared to go to spin.
And they're also part-timers, if you'd like to put it that way.
Beautifully bowled. He just tends to swing it away ever so slightly from the left-hander. Lamina Sen.
On the subject of spin, I think the comparison is unfair. See that last delivery just going across. Plenty of experience for the Gladiators when you look at the likes of the left-arm spinner. So much of experience, but the Warriors don't have that.
Clever. Clever and another boundary. It's an expensive over, this one.
Yep, the seamers are going for plenty. That extra pace actually working, and these 2 batsmen are cashing in on it. The first 6 overs with the field restrictions, you've got to close that gap up and make sure the foundation is set. New batsmen can struggle when the pace is taken off. That responsibility is so crucial. And Alamin Hossain would probably be the most experienced bowler in the Warriors lineup. He was your dark horse coming into the tournament.
Another boundary. This one's just lopped it over extra cover and will go for 4. That's a splendid over for the Gladiators. 2 gone, 22 without loss.
In the big
be 3 for 6. What about this for an over?
It was expensive, and this is a good finish. This is Danushka Gunatilaka just going over the top. Plenty of open spaces. That angle was worked well. So we're going to see more spin. Lanka. Spoke about it, Russell. They're mostly part-timers, the spinners. But pace on offer can always be pretty difficult to contain. Runs in that last over.
Yeah, 3 off the bat. Deflections to the leg side by both batsmen. There was also 4 leg byes, which made it 17. All the hard work, all the good work done in that first over, undone.
You need a good power play. Charlie Lanka. He's a part-timer, but he's got a good return.
We were talking about the spin options. Well, let's put it this way. They have spinners, but they don't have wicket-taking options. Real wicket takers.
Yeah, but again, I mean, Samit Patel is not a... He's more an all-rounder, isn't he? If you were to say to Samit Patel, what am I? Or what are you, excuse me? He would say, I'm a batter that bowls a little bit. You know, his bowling has been very effective here.
I think we're talking about the experience he carries. He knows exactly how to handle situations, how to handle conditions. Just pushing the ball through quickly. He's not someone, Charit Lanka is not someone who would be looking for loop and turn, but he will just fire the ball in, look to bowl some dot balls. That's exactly what he's done so far. So far he's been effective. He's got 3 dots out of 5.
Important last ball. You mentioned 2 off the 5. Crucial to finish strong.
And he's looking at going in at Midland leg. He doesn't want to stray onto off stump with mid-on and mid-off up. Good over. Very good over. 25 without loss. Captain Rajapaksa and then Patel. Lots of batters.
That's a pretty strong batting lineup. They bat deep. Dhananjay Lakshan is more than handy with the bat. Madhur Shankar, another all-rounder. Lahiru Kumara replacing Alamin Hussain. How will he set about on this surface?
Well, you want pace. Here is pace. Down to 3rd man for 1.
It's a strange one, isn't it? The pitch suiting more spin and the slowish bowlers, but Lahiru Kumara's strength is pace. Does he go for his aggression? Yesterday, he picked up wickets. Phil Salt took to him, but he came back. He clawed his team back into it. 3 for 34. Lahiru Kumara picked up. Of course, he's now learned to bowl that slower ball, so he's becoming more and more effective. But the key to his success will be his aggression. He should not compromise on that.
And you can see with the field as well that the man has pace. Fine leg and 3rd man. Those are the 2 boundary fielders. That's away. That is away for 4.
Yeah, well, it took a lot of pace on the ball that time. We've spoken about Lahiru Kumara trying to develop, but that time took a lot of pace off the ball, and that was dragged down. Danushka Gunatilaka knows exactly where his spots are. As we spoke, he's a fine leg, the 3rd man, but Plenty of vacant spaces.
And even for that, it is a poor field. I'm looking at fine leg, I'm looking at third men. They are very fine. That's for pace. Unusually fine, in fact, the fine leg.
And that's flipped away. That'll go all the way.
That was quick. And it went quickly off the bat as well. Danushka Gunatilaka. What a shot that was.
2 overs of spin, just the 8 runs. 9 balls of pace. 24 plus the leg byes. Let's add it to the faster bowlers. On the pads. That's bread and butter stuff. And the pace on offer, it's gonna fly. Fine leg into the circle. Deep square leg creeps out. But the fact is that they're off to a flyer. They're going at over 10 and over. And Lairu Kumara is under pressure.
High and handsome all the way. This is an enormous over for the Gladiators.
Well. Lairu Kumara once again under some pressure. He's faced situations like that in his international career. Just recently in the T20 World Cup. And this is Danushka Gunatilaka. Showing his aggression, showing his repertoire. And what a shot. What a shot that was. That was a top shot.
It certainly was, because there was nothing too wrong with the ball. With that delivery. But definite plan amongst the 2 batsmen that we must score against the faster bowlers, and they are playing their shots.
Yorker. That's good running. Great intensity in the first 6 overs here by the Gladiators.
This partnership now 43 of 23. And already 6s and 4s, 5 4s and 2 6s in this innings. Now that required rate down to very manageable. Not that it was out of control, but 101 of 97. 10 wickets standing. And Gunatilaka looking good. That's a threatening prospect for the Warriors. They need to pull it in as soon as possible.
Right-hander on strike now. Inside edge 4. When it's not going your way, it's just not going your way. That's 4 gone. An enormous over. 47 without loss. They wanted the Galle Gladiators. Pace has been bowled to them and the ball has disappeared all around the Primadasa. 97 required from 96 deliveries, so 6 and over from here. But in T20 cricket, we know what a wicket does. A wicket here, a wicket there, and the momentum changes completely. There's still a long way to go on a surface that we know offers turn.
Last over, very fruitful for the Gladiators. That was a slow ball that was dispatched. Those 2 balls were poor. They were on leg stump, but after that, got his lines and lengths right. A little bit unlucky, but the damage done.
TV
Quick behind the stumps, Kenal Lewis.
Referral for a stumping.
Great reaction.
Can I first check the front foot, please? It's a fair delivery. Go to front on spin vision to see whether any bat in ball. no bat involved. Go to the best side on angle for a stumping, please. Draw it low. Roll it forward. Okay, batsman made his ground. I'm ready with my decision. And
toppled over but never left his crease. They'll push hard, yeah, they'll want to, they'll get to easily. It's not a job that he does often, Kinar Lewis, the wicketkeeper. It's his 6th T20 match as a wicketkeeper.
There's some turn for the off-spinner. He's bowling slower. Tilakratna Sampath, the last two deliveries, the first one that the stumping was asked for was 83. Previous one, or the one before, 81. So you could see that he's looking to try and mix it up, searching for some spin.
50 on the board. Yeah, that was a smart piece of stumping. It was quick and perfect, you'd say. He took just the one bail off. That means he's had a lot of practice. That's what coaches tell you to do. Take the one bail off, not upset the umpires too much by smashing the stumps. Impressive for his 6th game. So 3 overs of spin, we have 11 runs. 2 overs of pace, we have 50, or close to. That should be an indication for Angelo Pereira what to do from here on. 5 gone, 50 for no loss.
Ayubawan, Sri Lanka. Hello, everyone. After 5 overs, Galle Gladiators well on course in this run chase. Just 94 runs from is left. What sparkle we've seen from this partnership, Mendes and Gunatilaka. 50 from 30. Pressure on Angelo Pereira. Has to ring in the bowling changes. Curb this free flow of runs. Where is Soil with his Maruf alongside me? Not looking good at all for this Warriors team.
You have to appreciate the batting out there in the middle. Played sensibly for first 3 overs, relied on correcting strokes. Yeah, some tremendous batting from the left-hander. He's an aggressor, no doubt. Played some delightful strokes. Yeah, in no time, race to the 50. Yeah, have a look at that stroke. Reminded me of Said Anwar, one of the best openers the world has seen. Just whipped the ball. Wrist work, and the ball went a mile.
When you talk about Said Anwar, he gave me a story once how he toyed with fast bowlers from Australia outside the off stump. Made them think that he was vulnerable in that region and just picked them off ever so often.
He was a clever batsman. Yeah, Mendes has batted well. So his partner going after the bowlers, just looking to rotate the strike. You should be impressed, Maha.
What's impressed to me, these two players have not played any competitive cricket for about 5 to 6 months. And straight away, coming and playing the way they did. Yes, first two games we've seen some glimpses of good batting, but couldn't make it big. But today, especially Danush Guntilaka, the way he timed and the intensity level, especially from Danushka against Dhananjay De Silva, the previous game he was struggling, but to finish off the way he did, that's what impressed me.
So you're trying to tell me staying away from the game helps you? End of power play, 52 without loss.
Claiming their spots yet again when they're eligible to play for the national team. Reinforcing their class as international players. We'll have to wait a little bit longer to return to that arena, but boy oh boy, have they taken control of this run chase. Some crisp shots, very much aware of their strengths as batsmen. They've entertained us all.
How about disregard for the pace?
Charita Lanka now.
That's what you call power play, don't you? Started off cautiously, then controlled aggression, and then unleashing themselves.
And as Russell mentioned in the previous stint, understanding what style of bowlers is easier to score from. This is real style in a pandemic. Sponsors, Dettol. Hygiene partner of the tournament. Important to always stay focused on our health and hygiene. And Dettol is the way to ensure that.
Yeah, if you keep sanitizing yourself, you're making sure the others are going to be safe. They are unusual times.
So again, Maruf, so important again to reinforce the thought process behind a run chase and playing T20 cricket. It's not only about bronze. The start that they had with the Gladiators batting lineup have in their disposal. It's important to get a start, to finish off, and also to add to Kandy Warriors' boost. It's only one recognized spinner in Sachin Kulumbage who's not that experienced at the highest level. That's where he's going to be struggling. You saw Noor Ahmed, Samit Patel, Mohammad Hafiz, how well they bowled. But at Kandy Warriors, there's lots of part-time options just like Charita Lanka. The genuine wicket-taking option is what they're lacking.
It's all about staying honest, Ganga. As a player, you know what are your strengths and weaknesses. And you're honest and you glean your information about your opponents, you are in a better place to perform day in and day out.
Delivery to end the over. 56 without loss after 7.
Champions League on Sony.
Both teams exactly the same score after 7. Only difference, the Warriors losing 2 wickets. So far, the Gladiators, an unbroken opening partnership that looks ominous. Partners for this wonderful tournament, World 777 News, Lanka Premier League, official digital streaming partner Daraz. Quick single, could it be run up? No, he gets there. And it's so important to have the right partners for a successful tournament. Official energy partner Red Bull, official snack partner CBL Munchie, official telecom partner Dialog, official league partner NLB Multilac, official auto LED partner Emergent Media, official hygiene partner Dettol, official partners Cycle Pure Agarmati, Titan Steel, Mac Tiles, Iron Steel and AIA Insurance.
And it has been a good partnership between these two. Realize they've been losing too many wickets in the power play, making it much more arduous for their middle order batsmen. They took the responsibility in this game, realized they are there to set the tone of the game in the favor of their team. There is no need to go berserk, like you suggested. It's not about only bronze. Brain has to be involved, and that's what we are witnessing with their approach. These two batsmen out there in the middle.
Not good work behind the stumps. Kenal Lewis allowing this one to go through. Couple extras.
Coming to Mendes, ball to Kusal Mendes, short a boundary to the leg side. It's very important not to give the arc, the length, this time wide, way wide down the leg side. Kenal Lewis missing it. Kusal Mendes very strong against slog sweep. This is where the batsman got to play for the team than the gallery after getting a start.
Just sweeping across the line, and the finger goes up. Will there be a review? Yes, he goes for it.
TV umpire, the director, we have a player review for LBW. Original decision is out. Show me the front foot, please. Stand by. And it's a fair delivery. Go to front on spin mission, please. Spin mission coming up, Hemant. Appears to be no batting roll. We'll confirm that with the ultra edge, please. Thank you. Oh, waiting for the ultra edge. Ultra edge. Ultra edge coming up, James. Roll it forward, roll it forward, roll forward, roll forward. Roll it, roll it, roll it. Clearly, no batting ball. Go to ball tracker when ready, please. Original decision is out. Impact in line. Wickets hitting, Hemanta. Wickets hitting. I will let you know when you're on camera.
There it is. Confirmation of the wicket. The breakthrough has come for the Warriors. It's Kusal Mendes that has to go for 16. 62 for 1. Mohamed Hafiz, the new batsman. That left-right opening partnership has been broken. Such an important part of teams and coaches and franchise teams picking a left-right combination to open the batting to give themselves a little advantage. It has worked well for the Gladiators.
Yeah, that ball was delivered from the angle. It just held his line, and that was more than enough for him to strike. He was able to break this dangerous partnership. Yeah, Mohamed Hafiz, world of experience there, but not consistent of late. It's not that he's not middling the ball. Shot selection has been his downfall. Well, ideal situation for him to regain some confidence in this innings. He can occupy the crease because his partner is looking $1 million, striking the ball very well. Galle.
Just finish that point. It's very difficult for bowlers to change bowling to a right-hander to a left-hander every other ball. Field has to be changed, so a little more pressure on the captain. And it's those 1%ers that makes a lot of difference. Into the hands and out. Dear, oh dear, chance goes a-begging.
Ishan Jairatne, what have you done? A great chance to get rid of Mohamed Hafiz. We'll talk about it. End of the 8th over. Gladiators 65 for 1.
In the Big Bath League, watch Perth Scorchers versus Brisbane Heat. Tomorrow, 4:05 p.m. KFC Big Bash League live on Sony Sports Network.
Required rate of 6.5. The good start has given the advantage to the Gladiators.
Yes, certainly Galle has given wings to this innings. And Mohamed Hafiz very lucky in the previous over. A long hop was presented and he only managed to hit the ball straight down to the throat of that fielder. That's Galle. Made a mess of it. Cuffed it up. What have you done?
Ishan Jairatne got a mean look from his colleague. We've been talking how important partners are, the energy partner for the LPL 2021. Red Bull gives you wings. I've got some colleagues here who would love to fly.
Turn. Now fly and get high.
I haven't seen many deliveries go flying out of the park as you would associate with T20 cricket teams now getting into their own. That's something that's been flying a lot. Well, drone here, they are Primadasa, giving us some beautiful images of the ground and of the city Colombo. And Super Wings, just as our energy partner Red Bull.
Much slower, very slow by Charita Lanka, very smart. Midland leg line, not giving any width. Raj Gunatilaka loves to go through the offside against off-spin. Smart operator, Charita Lanka.
Important passage of play. Both these batsmen, they're required to bat intelligently. Negate the opposition from picking up a wicket. Once again, opted to hit the ball in the air, but this time around, it was into the gap. First boundary from the bat of Mohammad Hafiz, and it's time out.
Just one wicket so far going to the spinner, Kamindu. They'll need all their resources, most of their spin resources, to probably create more opportunities for wickets. This guy hasn't presented any yet. He's played with flair, with style. He's an experienced campaigner. Gunatilaka looks really, really good at the crease.
And what has really impressed me with this innings, we all know, once as a batsman you get cavalier, it's very difficult to change your approach and become cautious, but he has done that. He's got some ability.
Columbia. New bowler.
Oh yeah, he has got ability. Problem has been controlling the ability. In his short career, batsmen to follow Ben Dung, Vanu Rajapaksha, Samit Patel, plenty of experience there.
And these guys are ball strikers.
Usually in T20 cricket, teams often look at matchups. Bowlers that spin the ball, they usually try to use them to spin the ball away from batsmen. So I'm sure Mbage would prefer bowling to the right-hander, taking the ball away, and maybe use the arm ball the run into the right-hander's pad.
Sachin Colomboge has come a long way in his young career. Someone that Sri Lanka selectors have been looking with his inclusion in the academy squad. Oh, the outside edge, Kenal Lewis. And Sachin Colomboge's body language suggests no, buys some encouragement. Turn from the young man, Mohammad Hafiz, throwing his arm through the offside, and Kenal Lewis nowhere near.
That was a perfect delivery for a right-hander. Raise the slip, captain. Only wickets can bring you back into this game. You cannot defend it.
And exactly what I said. Spinners spinning the ball away from right-handers. Usually a little more dominant, especially in conditions that offer turn, slip and play. A little more attacking feel now from the Warriors. Good support for Colomboge.
Yeah, leg spinner require that. You don't relate that accuracy with most of the leg spinners. A bad delivery is about to happen, and that's where you need the fielder complementing.
Just one delivery it takes to beat the batsman. That brings about a little more respect already. Mohammad Hafiz being more cautious and watchful.
Talk about the focus of the bowler. Peculiar, but effective. Halfway through, on track. Gladiators 78 for 1.
Decent position at the halfway point. 78 for 1, meaning they need 66 of the final 60 balls. Will they be dancing at the end of the game, though? It could be a tight one, this, but if the Galle Gladiators keep wickets in hand, then they might be celebrating later with some munchy come.
That's for you too. Good stuff. Matt, you've done well to get hooked on it pretty quickly. You know, at this stage, 10.1 overs, the Warriors were 82 for 2. But the Galle Gladiators still had some quality spin to offer. Do you have the same quality? And the other side of the coin is also that the Gladiators know what they need.
65 or 58 suggests that it is gettable, but the surface with spin on it is not easy. But the answer here is wickets. You need to create pressure not just with dot balls but with wickets. Yes, the spinners have not been as effective or not as recognized as their counterparts, but I think they've done a decent job. They managed to contain, but as Russell said, the issue is they haven't been able to get you wickets.
A bit of bite there for Sampat, who's into his third over. He's got a couple left. Colomboge's got 3 left. So you would think he's going to bowl out.
Taking your catches would also help. Another fact, the fielders need to be spot on. You cannot allow singles like that right now. A good ball has to be a dot.
Not a good ball. Short, but not taken advantage of by Hafiz, who picks up the man just behind square on the offside. Remember to keep sanitizing your hands. Stay sanitized, stay sane with Dettol. Just a bit cute, and it's another single. 82 for 1 off 11.
Champions League on Sony.
That's where you can watch us around the world. Really is a global tournament in its second year. The Lanka Premier League. Columba Gate. And again, no time. It does seem as though the longer batsmen's innings go on, the more they seem to struggle to get the ball away. As Ahmed Shahzad said in his interview, as we look at Columba Gate side on a very interesting run-up and delivery.
So intense.
Oh, that has turned slow into the pitch, and that has bitten. Not gathered by Kinar Lewis. He's struggling a little bit behind the stumps, not a regular keeper.
I think not a little, he's struggling a bit. He hasn't really been able to get his body behind the ball. The gloves haven't been in the right place.
Stop. Lucky inside edge for Mohamed Hafiz. Good bit of bowling.
Gotta measure for it. Columba Gate looking really good. Well, if you go on Kenal Lewis, he's a big fella. And these type of pitches tend to keep low. Don't bounce as much. He's got a long way to get down as well. He'll start low too. Could have easily gone onto the stumps. Now the Warriors need that type of luck. The rub of the green, as they'd say.
Young Columba Gate really didn't have a great game the last one, but he's risen here, risen to the occasion. He's been outstanding. 7 dots. And he's been attacking. He's been probing around that off stump. He's been good both to the left-hander and to the right-hander.
He always blows on the ball there like a table tennis player about to serve. Very often. This is short. Oh, what a catch! Can you believe it? That was hit hard, straight at Angelo Pereira. He's parried it up, he's hurt himself, but he's taken a crucial catch.
I can tell you that Angelo is circuit. I'm not surprised that he hung on to it. Quick reflexes, excellent catch. And how big will this wicket be?
Well, that's the worst ball he's bowled. And he gets his wicket. Doesn't matter, they needed a wicket, they needed the breakthrough. Oh yes, love the celebrations. Columba Gate strikes for the Kandy Warriors, and Danushka Gunatilak was going along very nicely. 45 off 33, 83 for 2.
Dunk walks to the crease in decent form. A nice little cameo in the previous game, 38 off 25 balls. Other innings like that would be just what the doctor ordered for the Gladiators.
A run and a wicket off the 5 so far. He's bowled really well, as you mentioned, Roshan, but worst ball that he's bowled was got in the price wicket off Danushka Gunatilaka. Hit hard. Angelo Pereira, very lucky that the rebound was within his reach. Gets it over, short mid-wicket. To get himself off the mark, Ben Dunk, 12 gone, 84 for 2.
Getting interesting, this run chase. 60 required of 48 balls now. The required rate is up to 7.5. There is batting to come though. Paksa, Samit Patel, the next 2 men due in.
Lanka is back. I think Angelo Pereira doing the right thing. You've got to look for wickets, you've got to search, because you're not going to defend this score. Chipping away, picking up wickets is the way you will strangle the opposition. Winds up, hammers it. Look, he's in a position where if it had fallen anywhere else, he wouldn't have been able to get to it.
This time, up and over goes Dunk, but he hits that quite straight, so wide long on can get around and cut it off.
Well, the Kandy Warriors need to search for 7 overs, and that has to be spin, and they don't have too many options. Angelo Pereira himself is an option if he wants to bowl, but he's got pace available. But we do know that pace is not the answer. Charita Salanka into his 4th over, and he's been very good. He's bowled 6 dots. That's going to be an issue for the Warriors going forward.
Well, this is Asalanka's final over. That's turned, but it's short, not the right line. No damage, just 1. He's got 1 left. Sampat's got 1 left. Colombogue's got 2 left. And Kamindu Mendes has also got 2 left. So I'm going to put Russell Arnold on the spot here. Do you bowl all of those overs out, all of those spinners out? Do you give them all 4 overs?
You go over by over. That's what I would do. Take things as it comes. I'm banking on my spinners to do the job, looking at the scoreboard. This is the 13th over. 2 overs of pace have gone for 39. 11 overs of spin around 4 and over. So I will be inclined to use the spinners. But who, what, when, you go over by over. Colombogue for the next. See how Colombogue goes. See, you decide what you want at the other end. It's not a big plan that you have. Got to be flexible and try and maneuver your way in, make inroads.
What the Gladiators have done well here is that they've ensured that they've rotated the strike, not allowed dot balls, they've got a single of every ball. And the Warriors have been found wanting in that area, particularly with those singles where they have been knocking the balls into gaps, dropping it and running. They've been pretty tight on the 30-yard circle. Haven't really seen them creeping in quickly. And that has allowed them to play with soft hands and get quick singles. So at the moment, that seems to be the plan.
Oh, big appeal. The finger goes up. Kumar Dharmasena just slid on with the arm. Ben Dunk's walking off. Are they going to review?
Review not available. Kusal Mendis took it, blew it. But I don't think there's going to be a problem here because caught right in front. He was caught on the crease. That length was great. Dunk unable to decide whether to get on the front foot or the back. Well, even if it was available, he would have blown it. Big wicket. Charith Lanka in his last over strikes. Chip away the Warriors. Ben Dunk for 3. 88 for 3.
The captain, Lanka Rajapaksa, back to his normal position at number 5. Hit a 50 in the first game, match winning in the end. Do with another important innings now. Oh, he leaves. Not the worst idea. Asalanka's done. Well bowled, the part-timer. 4 overs, 1 for 19. It's 88 for 3.
For once, a little bit of...
Time being taken to decide who to bring on. Shazad a bit like the wizard today. Colombo Gate is. Bit of a correction. 2 reviews available. So Ben Dunk had 1. But was told to walk off quickly by Mohammad Hafiz from the other end.
Almost carried to the man on the catch there. One's already gone to that fielder off the left-handed batsman. Slid on, stuck on the crease, Ben Dunk. Umpire's call, just clipping the top of leg stump. But given out, of course, by Kumar Dharmasena. So had he reviewed, they wouldn't have lost the review, but he would have still been walking back to the pavilion. Tossed up. Oh, that's a good delivery. Just a bit of an inside edge from Hafiz.
That deceived him in the air. So few things happening, and the batsman rooted to the crease. He's tossing it up, which is really good to see from Colombo Gate.
Footwork pretty indecisive with the leg spinner bowling. He's been good with his variety.
That's short though, and that's been hit straight to deep mid-wicket. What an error by Mohammad Hafiz. What is happening to the Galle Gladiators here?
Colombo Gate producing enough pressure. Again, not the greatest of deliveries, but it's a very successful one. He's got another one in this over.
He's bowling so well that the moment he bowls a loose ball, the batsman's eyes are lighting up and they're swinging at it. Straight to Asalanka, it was hit flat and hard. Oh yes, the Gladiators, are they playing themselves into a hole as Mohammad Hafiz goes for 13? 88 for 4.
Two batsmen on naught at the crease. Lanka Rajapaksa has been joined by Samit Patel, who also played a very useful knock in the first game, 42 of 31 balls. Paddled around the corner, there's no one there, so it should pick up at least two here. And with Shazad doing the fielding.
Well, wickets have been lost in clusters, 83, 88 and 88. This is the last one. Mohammad Hafiz just pouncing on, his eyes lit up. For a moment he thought that he got it over the line. It was not the case, but look what it has done to the run rate and the asking rate now, 54 of 38. Again, a good sweep shot. And that's a boundary. Now, this pair of batsmen are excellent players of spin. Bhanuka Rajapaksa, and of course we know what Samit Patel could do. So this is going to be a critical phase for the Gladiators.
This is leg side-ish. That's a freebie, look at it. He's able to roll his wrist and pick his spot. And suddenly, Columbage proving to be a little expensive compared to how he's been going. Still in the game, Angelo Pereira slows it down once again. Make the batsman wait, get your plans right. Prashant takes the opportunity to have a Manchikome.
What about you? I see you munching a lot. You keep passing it on to me, but you're the one.
It's good stuff, really.
Leave it, you two. Sent back. Finishes with a dot and a googly. 94 for 4 of 14.
Camera, action. Got it? I think it's a nice shot, sir.
Sampat can bowl one more. Mundu can bowl two more. Columbage can bowl one more. So they still need to find one over of spin, of seam rather.
Well, it's going to come down to that Mendes fellow again. He impressed with the bat. He'll have to impress with the ball. And show some magic with both hands.
It's at a very interesting stage. The Gladiators will look to try and push it as deep as possible. With Bhanuka Rajapaksa in, he can hit the long ball. He can get you off length. He can get some quick runs. What they need is stability. On the other hand, the Warriors wouldn't mind those singles and dots, but they need an opening here. They need to try and get to that lower half of the Gladiators.
Tip and run. Good bit of running that. Get off strike.
Far too many of those. Far too many of those. Good balls had to be dots. That's what you need to do. Well, a strategic timeout around the corner. We do have a beverage partner, Red Bull. Maybe the Warriors need a few more wings to push them through.
Damit's down. Hung outside the off stump. Good bit of bowling that. Had for a bit of spin. Red Bull, our energy partner. Which of these two sides is going to have the energy to get over the line? It's hard work out there in these conditions. Samit's down again. He lofts into the leg side. That's into the gap. But it's only going to be two. if he gets back, which he just does. Kamindu Mendis with a good bit of fielding.
Good presence of mind. He did see that mid-wicket area open, so he was going with the turn. And eventually 2 useful runs.
Played it nicely right into the gap. Tripping it, not trying to hit too hard, therefore he gets the placement right.
So the runs are ticking over, but the required rate still going up. Getting up towards 9 now, 8.7.
Options for Angelo Pereira. That's the key. 5 overs to go, only 1 lead spinner. As 1 over, that's Colombo Gate. 2 pipe timers have done really well.
Might be 2, no, just going to be 1. And that is Sampat bowled out, 4 overs done for 18. It's exactly 100 for 4 with 5 overs to go. Champion.
Well, just 4 wickets so far for the Warriors. 100 for 4, just 44 required and 30 balls. Still, the game hanging in the balance, you would think. Couple wickets could swing things in favor of the Warriors. However, a good partnership here between these two. Rajapaksa, last 6 months or so, he's scored runs consistently in white ball cricket. And don't underestimate Samit Patel. He can hit a long ball.
That did make it hard for themselves by losing 3 quick wickets. But still, if they bat sensibly, they can get over the line. Just by playing smart cricket.
Gone for it. And goes all the way. The slug sweep has worked well. And guess who? Rajapaksa taking things into his own hands.
It's a long boundary. Long boundary. Just pick the line very early. Fetch the ball from outside the off stump. And it kept going. Timely blow.
HD, as they say, hitting with the turn, always the better option.
And again, full toss, gets the treatment. Didn't go all the way, but it went into the gap.
Just looking leg side. He's lining up the leg side. Full toss. It wouldn't have mattered if it was a full toss. He was still looking leg side, looking for that gap between deep mid-wicket and square leg.
This must come early for Bhanuka Rajapaksa. He's only faced 8 balls. He's raced to 18. Strike rate of 225. 34 from 28 balls. The equation simplifying itself with those 2 lusty blows.
Before the over started, I actually thought this could be a tough chase. And then 6-4, and the game has swung in the favour of the Gladiators.
And the depth touch to follow. And that's really good batting from Bhanuka Rajapaksa.
You were right in your thinking. The only reason the leg spinner got greedy, tossed the ball up, not realizing that Rajapaksa has the ability, and he is in that form, and he has the confidence even to clear that long boundary. Those two deliveries changed everything. Margin of error is small in this format. HG.
More attacking field for the right-hand, and quite rightly so. Turn on off as we've seen before.
But the director, we have
going
an
upstairs for the
umpire
review.
Stumping. Can I first check the front foot, please? Is a fair delivery? Go to a front spin mission, please. Spin mission coming up. Ball clearly away from the bat. Can you give me the best side on for the stumping, please? No batting ball. Side on for the stumping. Front foot on the line. Okay, he just made it when the bails are off from the goose. I made my decision.
We should see not out. Part of that back leg inside the crease. In the air. And what a catch by the captain, Angelo Pereira. Moving swiftly to his left. And it's another one.
Yeah, it has tipped the scale once again. Game hanging in the balance, a timely wicket. After going for 11 this over, the leg spinner has redeemed himself. That was his third wicket and a brilliant catch.
Short stay for Saurabh Patel, goes for 4, 111 for 5.
This.
West Indies tour of fun. The gods of football. Sports and
electrifying match.
Madhushanka, the new batsman. 33 from 25 now the equation. One delivery left in his spell. Kalambage, here he goes. Defends nicely. Completes a brilliant spell. 3 for 20. End of the 16. 111 for 5. Overs remaining in the innings. There will be a few decisions that Angelo Pereira will have to make. HD Ackerman, 2 overs remaining. Kamindo Mendes, what's your pick for the bowlers, the last 4?
Well, this was always going to be a concern for them, is that when do they go back to the pace, because the pace has travelled all around this ground all night. That's whether there's another part-timer in here that can pull some spin for them.
Swept away. One bounce to the fielder. He's been taking his chances.
The dismissal again. It's a good catch. Pereira moves well to his left. A good fielder in there, short extra cover. A big position for the leg spinner, the extra cover. What's important here is Rajapaksa will want to get on strike here because he'll want to target that short boundary.
They're talking about the bowling options. I think he should go with Nehru Kumara, because we all know that Rajapaksa is not comfortable against those short pitch deliveries.
Which over is that? Is it the 18th or the 20th?
Has to be the next one.
Left arm spin to the right-hander, spin away. Negotiates well.
Yeah, it's a luxury to have for a captain. If there is a shorter boundary. Yeah, talk about this catch. Great reflexes. Anticipation was there and made it look easy.
Madhushanka can't just absorb dots. 2 very good catches from the captain, Angelo Pereira. That was the first to get rid of Gunatilaka. Then Samit Patel being plucked out of the air. And boys, he pumped. Ball for 1. They get there comfortably in the end, so pressure off. Rajapaksa on strike, he will be thinking boundary.
The action will more than likely change now to off-spin to the left-hander. What a gift. What a gift to be able to do this. But the captain for the Gladiators, he's glancing over that right shoulder of his towards that short side in the old scoreboard.
Use of the feet. Mistimed it. The intent was clear from Rajapaksa. He was aiming to go out of the ground. Fell short of that fielder in the long-on position.
The length was good, wasn't it? In that he knew where Rajapaksa wanted to go, so that if he bowled the ball up there, he bowled it just the back of a length.
Reverse sweep. Not out, says the umpire, but he goes for the review.
TV umpire, the director, player review for LBW. Original decision is not out. Can we check the front foot, please? It's a fair delivery. Go to front on spin mission, please. spin vision, Kumar. Clearly ball hit the glove. Clearly hit the glove. Can you just have the on-field umpire on camera, please? Kumar, stay with your original decision.
Clearly a glove coming into the way, so review loss by the fielding team. 17 overs gone, 114 for 5.
From the last 5 overs and 3 wickets. It's amazing what wickets does in T20 cricket. One side is dominating, suddenly a wicket goes, and then another one, and all of a sudden the game changes. This gets a glove on it. It's a big appeal. He's asking the umpire if he's gloved it before he decides to go upstairs.
Did the umpire say no? You think so?
I do. I think Dharmasena said no, he didn't hit it. Okay, we'll go upstairs. Double bluff, he hit it.
That's good coordination, isn't it?
Here's Rahman Paul. Punched away, pace off. Hasn't bowled a lot in recent times, Rahman Paul, so this is a brave call by Angelo Pereira.
The reason why he's opted for him, have a look, have a look. He said no. Well done, AC. Good spot, that. Yeah, it's a good call from the captain to bring in Powell, because he's got that ability to bowl the slow ones, and those slow ones stays in the wicket, make it difficult for the batsman to hit the ball into the gaps.
From the field with the third man, the fine leg up, must be pace off. Yep, cutter into the wicket. Brilliantly done in that deep mid-wicket region. The ball was travelling.
He was just a little nonchalant at first at deep mid-wicket. Moved to his right, but the ball, when it hits the surface, skips away from him. And in the end, he has to goalkeeper style prevent it from going for 4.
Made it look good, that effort.
And again, straight to the fielder. And pops out. What disappointment for the Warriors. His face says it all, Rahman Paul. Crestfallen with that chance going down.
HT call, he was nonchalant on the previous delivery. What you call this? Took it so easy. Look at those reactions from the fielders, of the bowler. He just couldn't believe it. Yes, it was an easy opportunity. Cuffed it up.
Well, it flowed, Rahman Paul. That's how invested he is in this, the 18th over. Another chance. And gets it. This time it's Rajapaksa, because they crossed when the chance went to begging. Is this the game?
If not, it's going to be very difficult. What a call from the captain. To get Powell into the attack. Kept on persisting with those slow ones. doing the trick. And a big wicket. Huge wicket in the context of the game. They're definitely ahead. Kandy Warriors. 22 was the contribution from the captain. It's 118 for 6.
Scores exactly the same. Educated outside edge and will run away for 4. And that's a good start for Lakshan.
I think we need to give him a bit of credit, don't we? Because he has tried to open the face. There is third man up. It is a thick outside edge, yes. But he's tried to run it down there. He gets 4.
There are times it's not all about power. Those delicate touches has the value.
Well, Lakshan has an opportunity to be a hero here. Finish the game. We've been talking a lot about Sri Lankan players who are finishers. And again, a bit of deja vu. Consecutive 4s to end the over. 12 runs coming from it. 126 for 6. Well, the equation reads 18 from 12. Rahman Paul gave a special over. His last 2 deliveries going for 4s, but not convincingly. Fortuitous, you would say.
Oh, those 2 deliveries once again shifted the balance. He couldn't believe it. Went for a couple of boundaries with his last 2 deliveries. This is turning out to be skin-tingling affair.
Mendes. Single.
Pace taken off the ball. Rajapaksa looking for a boundary. He felt that his team needed a boundary at that moment.
Well, the right option would have been extra cover. Smaller boundary. Percentage stroke.
Bottom edge. Nearly chopped on. He was aiming leg side. Dhananjaya Lakshan. He survives now. 16 from 10.
There's a big area out between long on and deep mid-wicket. Now, I know it's a left-arm spin. The ball's going away from the right hand. There hasn't been a lot of turn here.
Straight and powerful. Goes all the way for 6. What a shot here. Madhu Shankar has announced himself.
What a timely hit and a brave hit. And how about the area he picked? The safest. Over the head. of the bowler. Just flat batted it and kept going. Once again, Gladiators back in this game.
Worked through the onside. He was looking for two, sent back. 9 from the over. Just 9 from 8 balls required.
Change to off-spin now to the left-hander, but that left-hander will be targeting that mid-wicket area. If he recognises it, don't be surprised if it goes out the ground.
What's the approach here? Does he try to get as many as possible in these remaining 2? Don't leave it for last. He does. Just short of the fielder. That was a special effort. Ishan Jaratne diving forward. Desperate situation for his team, and he put his body on the line. Last delivery of the 19th. And it will produce a single, so 11 runs from the over. End of the 19th, 137 for 6.
What a partnership this is. 19 of just 8. Just what you want at the back end when the team is on the brink of throwing away what was a very, very strong position. Now just 7 from 6.
Nail-biting situation before us. 7 from 6. It looks easy on paper, but I'm sure it's high intensity out in the middle. Everyone is glued to this situation.
Well, we've been wanting a tight one. We've got one. Captain deciding who he's going to bowl this final over. There's a great deal of choice here. It's going to have to be more spin though. Risky.
Super over. Don't think so. HD.
Angelo Pereira hasn't bowled in the innings so far. He's holding the ball. Does that confirm that the decision would be for him to bowl the last over? There's still Lahiru Kumara with 3 overs left. He went for 22 in his first, so that has swayed the captain away from going to pace.
Just 1 over should determine that he's not good enough.
Swept away. First delivery gets tucked over square leg, and that's a 6. 1 from 5 required now.
Akaran, astrologer sitting next to me. HD, he called it. Mid-wicket 6, and it happened. I'm coming to your room. I'm coming to your room, HD. See, number 7 and 8 batsmen out there in the middle, in pressure situation. You go with your premier fast bowler. That's taking chances. In this situation, doesn't work. Let's hope.
Really special strike once again from Lahiru Madushanka. That's his second 6. He's only faced 12 balls, 18 runs to his name. And he has the pleasure of scoring the winning runs. What an end to this match number 5 in the LPL. Some are clapping, but the Warriors disappointed. They thought they had this game in the bag, but it was not to be. The Galle Gladiators, they've prevailed.
Oh, what a timely contribution from Madhushankar. Team was down and out, under pressure, and those lusty blows changed everything. 22 runs, very important ones.
I feel a little bit for Angelo Pereira. Just 8 required of the final over. He knew that seam had been going around the park. He must have fought with himself not to bring on his primary fast bowler in Kumara, and eventually going with himself. It didn't work. He felt it was worth the risk, but instead a big 6 off the first ball and 1 down the ground to end it. This was the stroke to end the contest, and it was a contest. It really was. It was the pick of the game so far in the second edition of this LPL.
Now that hit for 6 in the penultimate over, I think gave them the confidence to go and win this game. Oh, they were cruising, weren't they, Gladiator? Just by losing 3 quick wickets, made it themselves. But in the end, got over the line.
I think we must also think about Lakshan. He walks to the wicket. Very first ball, third man is brought up. We know that Powell's going to take pace off the ball. Granted, it's a thickish outside edge, but he was trying to get the ball down there. For 4. The next delivery does the same thing. So back-to-back boundaries for a very new man.
Yeah, to take those boundaries into account as well. Praise.
The Warriors, their spinners, they were the main wicket takers. 3 for 20, Columbage. A wicket for Kamindu Mendes, 1 for 24. Rahman Powell chipped in with 1 in the end. A wicket for Lanka as well, 1 for 19. Just not enough runs for all the bowlers to defend. So how